I really wanted to put together everything that I knew and research everything that I could about family office best practices. So each principle is guided and grounded in practical application of practical guide, helping families not just maintain their wealth, but looking at the high impact things that they can do with their wealth. So sorry to hit you with this first thing in the morning. You're probably the most awake you can be a whole day, right? You're all caffeined up, coffee's keep on like Graham's alert. So it's the perfect time to do it. Put the phones away. My job right now is to scare you, right? For your own good. Not doing this for shock value, but scare you because the risks your family office faces are real, they're expensive, and the good news is they're preventable. So I'm a coach, I'm an executive coach, and my job is to make sure you stay ahead of problems before they blindside you. I like being proactive. If you're reactive to this stuff, it's already too late. You've suffered, you have lost a lot of money, and for no good reason. So whether you choose to do best practice reviews, you can do it with us or anybody, right? Do them. Make sure you have top standards for every one of these functional areas. To me, it's just a no-brainer. So let's dive into the first principle, mindset. So any successful family office begins with a clear, empowering mindset. This means treating family office like a business. Now, I've been doing this for a long time, and I look at a lot of family offices, they don't treat it as a business for some reason. Why is it? Why don't they treat it? It's so important. Why don't they treat it like a business? And I've come up with two reasons why. Two limiting beliefs. First, they don't believe that their family office has any clients. Then there's no clients. We don't have to really be serious about this. And second, they don't believe it's revenue generating. Both are not true. They're erroneous, right? Of course you have clients. The client is the family, right? It's the most important client there is. It's you, it's your family. And second, they better be revenue generating, right? These are assets, your assets under management. You better be getting a return on your assets. So families must treat the office like professional enterprise that it is, rather than some side project or some expense. So the first place to start is a mission statement. We're working with our clients, that's what we do. Let's start with a mission statement. So what are the key values of the family, right? How should the wealth be stewarded? This acts to unify multiple generations around shared values, such as philanthropy, entrepreneurship, perhaps a blend of both. So when we work with our clients, we take them through three key action steps. First, we gather key family members in a facilitated session to define core values. Then we draft a short statement that resonates across different generations, and then you're going to revisit this annually. Mindsets evolve, but foundational values don't. Principle 2. The backbone of a family office is stability. Formal structures like decision-making councils, they prevent confusion, conflicts, and reactive decision-making. So when we typically set this up, there's two real entities here. The family council that represents the key stakeholders of the family, and then the board of advisors. These are the experts. You've got the family, and you've got the experts. Clarity on who decides what, investments, distributions, state changes, this can avoid power vacuum. It's really important in any family office. You don't want a power vacuum with your family. It's crucial to codify. Yeah, write it down. Codify how major decisions happen, like requiring supermajorities for large investments or maybe some philanthropic grants. This fosters transparency and also gets buy-in. Now, too much family control can lead to emotional decision making. You don't want to make decisions based on emotion. Too much outside of control from the experts, that can sideline the family values. So you want a balanced committee approach. This ensures professional guidance and family input. Estate planning. So family wealth is based on two pillars, right? Strategic investment for growth, and then estate planning for transfers. They've got to work in tandem. Really important they work in tandem. Now, on the investment side, it's really important to have an investment policy statement or an IPS. The IPS is going to document three different things: risk tolerance, asset allocation, and liquidity needs. Are you aiming for growth, preservation, moderate growth? What are you aiming for? The IPS is your playbook. Then estate planning. Tools like trusts, wills, gifting strategies. These ensure your heirs are going to receive assets in a tax-efficient way. We're going to talk a little bit about that in a second. So proper structuring of these documents, crucial. Protects wealth from estate taxes and unintended claims. Let's talk a little bit about coordination of the players here. It's really important there's coordination between those advisors who make your investments and the advisors like estate tax attorneys. You want to make sure that they're operating together. For example, there's no point in buying illiquid assets that hamper a trust function. There's no point in setting up trusts that conflict with investment goals. You got to make sure they're working together. Why would you do these things? Move to principle 4. Education is the key to passing wealth responsibly. Without it, inheritors can feel overwhelmed or maybe even entitled, right? This can risk a quick erosion of assets. Now, it's important to have an age-tailored approach in education. Well, Rockefellers are really good at this. You got to start simple. Young kids learn basic savings and spending. Then we move to the teens, budgeting and investing fundamentals. Adults, the more advanced stuff like charitable giving, trusts, business plans. We talked a little bit about insights. It's important to prevent an entitlement mindset. It really sucks. You don't want to have kids have an entitlement mindset. So structured allowances, matching programs, requiring next-gen involvement in philanthropy. These are all great things that you can do to prevent this entitlement mindset. These practices foster responsibility. Clear communication of the family's values cultivates stewardship. Now, one thing, I see there's kind of a mix of ages here in terms of where you are in the family office. Elder care, right? Let's talk a little bit about elder care and continuity. Again, this fits in with education. Education extends here, preparing for elder needs like health directives, powers of attorney, respectful transitions, really important stuff. Like for me, you don't want to be thinking about these things when you're drooling all over yourself in a nursing home. Think about them now. You want to be in preventative mode, planning mode, proactive mode. Principle 5, your family backbone is only as strong as its operational backbone. Reliable accounting, transparent reporting, efficient workflows. These are all crucial best practices for a smoothly functioning family office. With multiple entities like trusts, LLCs, various personal holdings, family offices need a consolidated reporting system, something that captures everything, the assets, liabilities, expenses, revenues. You want it all in one place, one snapshot. You got to make it easy for the founder to see these things. They all need to be captured in one place. Cash management. You better be focused on this. You better have cash management best practices. Crucial, right? You want to centralize your invoice payments. You better be tracking your cash flows and go kook one day. You got to be tracking that. You want to forecast your liquidity needs. My partner and founder taught me, co-founder of Blue Ridge Capital taught me the real risk is not having money, liquid cash when you need it the most. Why is that? You might be forced to sell. It's forced to sell when you're not ready to. Meet best practice standards is one of the most important things you can do. Things like dual sign-offs for wires, monthly reconciliations, segregation of duties. These are absolutely the most basic, crucial things you can do. And believe it or not, many even sophisticated family offices neglect these things. Huge mistake. Even just one embezzlement crisis can ruin a family office's reputation, not to mention limiting a significant portion of the family office's net worth. You gotta have these proper checks, keep financials sound. High-performing teams. Principle 6. Key roles: CFO, controller, CIO, COO, CISOs, legal advisor. Depends on how large a family office is, of course. Plus the specialized staff, the property managers, philanthropic coordinators. Each role needs clarity. Who reports to who and with what authority? Businesses do this. Why don't family offices do it? It's a must. It's not easy recruiting top talent. This is a trending topic right now. Not easy recruiting top talent for family offices. You've got to compete with hedge funds, investment banks, corporate gigs, technology firms. So how do you stand out? How are you going to attract these top candidates and top talent? A unique culture, perhaps, co-investment opportunities, flexible work-life balance. These are all things that can help you stand out to attract that top talent. Now, don't underestimate the importance of the HR function. Even small offices, even small family offices, you need formal stuff. Employee handbooks, NDAs, performance reviews, termination protocols. This is all important stuff. So when discussing talent, protecting confidentiality, also crucial. One of the most important things a family office can do. Do you have the right best practices there? Now, you have to do so without violating HR compliance. It's getting more and more tricky to do. You need real expertise to do this. Compensation, usually the most difficult thing, yet the most important component. Attracting and retaining employees. So like our talent acquisition business, we developed this compensation analysis expertise ourselves. I want to know it for myself, for my family office, and for our business. So I could actually kind of stumbled upon this. All these experts, our advisors, compensation experts. I had a founder of a large multi-billion-dollar hedge fund came to me and said, "I got this really difficult role, Rich. Can you help me do some compensation now? Don't know what to pay this guy. They came to me, I did it. I was at all the advisors and all kinds of networks for this particular person. I gave it to him. I'm going to charge him and send me a large check. Next day, I got a check delivered FedEx. Like, he didn't know I was doing this a favor. He's like, you have no idea how valuable that was for me. It's like, you know what? He's like, what'd you do for the rest of my firm? So yeah, that's a business right there. So you want to be, compensation is so important. Again, like I said, for retention and attraction. You want to be an expert at this. You could waste millions, focus on this area. Principle 7, tax optimization, significant factor in preserving the wealth of the family. Crucial. As the saying goes, it's not about what you make, it's about what you keep. Federal, state, international tax, it can be complicated. It's a wise investment of your time to design strategies proactively so you don't have to pay more than you have. It's like throwing money away. Why would you do that? You got to focus on taxes. People don't want to complicated, blah. You got to focus on it. Have experts do that. Of course, the laws always change. You got to stay vigilant. Entity selection, huge factor. To minimize your tax bill. Shielding your wealth for liability as well. LLCs, corporations, pick structures suited to your business activities and estate plans. Of course, anybody delving into family office must deal with trusts, deciding which trust to use, how to best gift. Dynasty trusts, annual gift exclusions, spousal trust, all things that should be used strategically. Now, where a family chooses to establish its legal and tax home, it's going to have a significant tax impact, right? And also protection. Some families relocate to use state-friendly trust laws like Nevada, South Dakota, Florida, to minimize state taxes or protect assets from claims. Principle 8, the right legal structure is really important as well. You want to focus on privacy and compliance here. It's going to be a different balancing act. Many offices have LLC structures. Are your trust documents updated? As we've noted, good legal structures reduce liability. Strong compliance framework is really key to turning a reactive crisis into proactive risk prevention. You want to be proactive here. Have policies and expense approvals. Again, best practice is really the best way to kick the tires in all of this stuff. The big key is to catch things earlier. You need to watch out for fat cuts. There's all kinds of things you really got to focus. People think it's just a family hospital. You don't have to worry. You do have to worry about these things. Now, for Principle 9, technology. Technology can be the greatest for your greatest friend or your biggest enemy. Lots of risks here. Cybersecurity, personal safety, operational disruptions. It can be a vulnerability. Technology can be a vulnerability, or it can be a real solution for things. You've got to have best practices at a minimum here. Multi-factor authentication, vendor due diligence, routine backups. Prepare for ransomware. You better be prepared. So the crisis difference between paralysis and resilience, well-versed continuity plan. Of course, insurance, make sure coverages are solid, no gaps. Philanthropy and impact investing, Principle 10. You want to make a positive impact. A positive impact leads a big part of your legacy. Beyond personal gain, many families seek meaning but social environmental impact. So I'm just going to leave you with this. Here's the bottom line. Either treat risk management and best practice as a once-in-a-while thing, checklist, or if you're smart, you look at this as ongoing best practices, discipline that protects what you built. Worked hard to build this. Waiting until something goes wrong is not a strategy. It's an invitation to a preventable disaster. Prevention costs a fraction of reaction. It spares you stress, reputation, damage, missed opportunities. So my challenge to you is simple. Take what you've heard today in Hamptons. Won't have to be with us. Can we just speak to your advisors? Make sure you're doing best practice reviews. Because the families that thrive across generations are the ones that don't just survive crises, they prevent them. Thank you.